Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today we are finally recording one of the most requested videos, my add-ons in Wrath of the Lich King. Yes, we are here. But before we jump into it, I want to remind you guys that we do have merch available. We got some improved merch up on the website right now, or it depends when you're watching this video, but as of recording this video right now, we do have merch available. We got the improved design on the front, improved design on the back. We got tees, tanks. But let's hop into it. Link is down below for the merch. Check it out. Add-ons. We're going to start on the bottom of the list because we have some real nice add-ons at the bottom, starting with Czar Mods. All right, Czar Mods is actually an add-on that I made and then had Stako kind of help me make better. Am I a coder? No, not really. Okay, here we go. I pretty much have the default settings on Czar Mods. Actually, this is a new version I'm working on. This is actually not the version that you'll download, but it's pretty much exactly the same, except I'm adding this PvP function. But anyway, we have visibility options, minimap options. It hides the map button, the zoom button, so you can scroll wheel. It auto sells grays. It's kind of like a Letrix Plus for PvP. All right, disable screen glow, disable screen effects. We have combat indicator built in. The combat indicator is awesome. Arena match timers, not a feature yet. Implemented, might be working on that too. Combat indicator though, super cool. When I have a target and they're in combat, it's gonna have a little X next to their name, and if they're not in combat, it won't. So I know when I can get saps if I'm playing a rogue. I know if I can, if someone's gonna go and shrink because they're gonna drop combat or get a resell soon. Pretty cool, love that. Action bars, big question on the action bars. Czar, my action bars aren't working from Czar Mods, this and that. Guys, action bars, we are going to deprecate out of Czar Mods. I think that's the right usage of that word. No longer are we doing action bars with Czar Mods. A few reasons behind this. One, on retail and Dragonflight, they're putting dominoes kind of style bars in automatically. So I find that for retail, you don't need it anymore at all. And then in Wrath, it's just a lot of work to get it working when I'm already not going to be using it in retail. And in Wrath, I'm personally using Bartender for some other weird reasons that we'll get into later in the video. So yeah, I'm not using action bars. Now, if you do want to keep the default stock action bars, there are some key some options that we added for action bars in the add-on, so you can hide the griffins, hide macro names, and hide keybinds. If you do want to just use the stock bars but make them a little cleaner, if you have all three of those options on, they're going to be a little bit cleaner for you with those stock bars, so enjoy that. Next, we have unit frames. We got the gold dragon, of course. Okay, people asking all the time how we get that. That's from Czar Mods. We got class colors. My health bar is blue. When I target another mage, it's blue. When I target an NPC, it's green. This shaman here has a dark blue health bar. This mage here is blue health bar. Druid here is orange. Very nice to have the health bar of the class that you're fighting. That's Czar Mods as well. Love it. Nameplates, others, and nameplates. And this is this... yeah, players, others, nameplates. Hide PvP icons. I just like them hidden because it's cleaner. Hide feedback text. I actually don't play with that on. And then you guys can't see it because it's behind my camera, but it just makes the chat frame a little bit nicer. It means you can drag it to wherever you want. Makes it a little bit more minimal. The whole idea behind Czar Mods is to make the UI as minimal as possible. And we have posture checks. All right, it'll be periodic reminders to stand up straight while you're gaming, or sit up straight while you're gaming. We love those posture checks. Keep it nice and good in those long gaming sessions. And you can change the frequency, and you can disable Czar Mods posture checks in instances. If you're a tryhard, you don't want it coming up mid-raid or arena, you can disable it in the instances so it only comes out when you're in the city or whatever. That's Czar Mods. All right, next. Tell me when. Tell me when /TMW. I have an interesting tell me when setup, I guess. We have two rows here. On the top row, we have offensive buffs that I want to track. On the bottom row, we have defensive buffs, for the most part, that I want to track. And on the left side of my screen, and this happens to be right next to my focus, is debuffs that I want to track. So debuffs over here, offensive buffs here, defensive buffs here. Okay, which ones do I track? Well, if you want all of my tell me when setup, and I actually don't use weak auras because I'm weird. But for tell me when, If you guys want it, I have the import for you down below. All of my add-ons will be listed down below. It's actually, I believe, in the Discord. And you can literally just grab the paste bin that I have down there for you guys, paste it here, click import from string, boom, it'll be set up just like mine. You don't have to do anything else. If you do want to know kind of how it's set up though, I have certain abilities like mind quickening or spell power, my trinkets on this left one. On here, I have Icy Veins, Combust, Arcane Power. On the right one, I have Avenging Wrath if I spell steal from a pally, Hyperspeed Accelerators, Presence of Mind, Berserking. Okay, and then on this right one, I have Clear Casting. All right. Pain Suppression and Vulnerability Belt, Hand of Protection. So like buffs that make me take less damage, right? On this one, immunities here, Ice Block, Will of Forsaken. Actually, Will of Forsaken doesn't need to be in there anymore. That's from back when Will of Forsaken gave you 5 seconds immunity, but it doesn't do that anymore. So we can remove that. And then this one has PI, Bloodlust, Heroism, and Improved Blink. So this is kind of like an extension of that offensive one. And then these two are more like defensive. Now, these ones over here are pretty much just like reduced healing, wound poison, viper sting, aim shot, stuff like that. So I know when those big mortal strike or big important debuffs are up, so I know how to react to them. And that's pretty much it. That's my Tell Me When setup. Real basic, but it works for me. It's nice. Next, spell activation overlay. So many people are probably clicking on this video because of this add-on. Could have almost started with it. It's how I get all of my procs to show whoever coded spell activation overlay. Great work. Great job. This is what an incredible add-on. It works for every class. Everyone should have this. It's amazing. It gives you the overlays from spells as soon as they're activated. Easy clap, right? Hit the subscribe button and check out the merch. All right, Silver Dragon. Don't really need this, but dude, I was thinking on one of these days I'm gonna be flying through Storm Peaks and we're probably gonna get Time Lost Proto Drake. You know what I'm saying? So I just downloaded Silver Dragon for when the time comes. I'm not using S Arena right now. I'm using Gladdy. The reason I'm not using S Arena is because the version that's up, there's not really an up-to-date version that's working. The version that's uploaded right now, at least at the time of me recording this video, is still a little bugged. I'm kind of working on maybe doing like a little Xaryu edit to S Arena to make it work. But in the meantime, I'm using Gladdy. Honestly, the guy that made Gladdy is awesome. I'm in contact with him. He's coded so many incredible features that I might just swap over to Gladdy full time. I'm actually let's check out Gladdy right now, even though it's further up on the list. I made Gladdy to kind of look like my S Arena used to look. It looks almost identical. At the time of recording this video, he doesn't have it in the profiles on the add-on itself, but I'm talking to the Gladdy developer, and I'm gonna have him, hopefully, add in a Xaryu profile so that you guys can just copy my exact profile with the one click of a button. There's some other really nice profiles though here if you want to check them out. We got Mir's profile, we got Ruck's profile, Klimp's profile, Null's profile. If you guys want to check those out, a lot of really great preset profiles here, but we'll add that Xaryu profile in at some point for you guys. And I mean, honestly, Gladdy is just a really, really good add-on. You have Totem Plate, Totem Pulse if you want to mess around with that. You have the Shadow Sight timers. You have the countdown from the arena match. You have a lot of great things with Gladdy. So pretty cool. Next, we have Safe Queue. It means there's no leave queue button anymore, and it counts down your queues. You don't need it. It's nice. Omni CD. Omni CD is awesome. Omni CD tracks teammate cooldowns in PvP. So I can say, like, in arena, I want to track a warrior's pummel and shield bash. So if I'm playing with a warrior, right next to his frame, there's going to be a pummel cooldown when I see that pummel cooldown. You can set it up however you want. I usually track major defensives and kicks is generally what I do. Major defensives and kicks. If you guys want to pause the video at any moment and take a look at how I set mine up. I don't think there's an export option. Actually, is there an export option? There might be. If there is, I have it in my Discord. I can't remember if I did it for this add-on or not. But yeah, pretty much big defensives and kicks is how I like to set mine up. And trinkets. I like to track my trinkets, PvP trinkets, from my teammates. Will of Survive included, but no other racials, and then that PvP trinket. This is nice. I don't think I have it in Battlegrounds. I have it available in Dungeons. Outdoor Zones is enabled. Raids disabled. Scenarios disabled. That's Omni CD for ya. Easy clap. Okay. Next, we have Omni CC. I have it default stock. Download Omni CC. It's going to look exactly like this. What it does is it adds a nice little counter to the numbers. And people might ask, well, why not just use the default ones? Because look at that. When it goes low, it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, a nice big red text. I like that it goes from yellow to red. Look, at 5 seconds, boom, it goes big and red. And then longer cooldowns like Ice Block, it just says 4M, right? So it goes yellow after like a minute or something. It's just cool. I'm used to it. It uses Omni CC for my Tell Me win. It should use Omni CC for Gladi. Actually, the Omni CC Gladi support should be coming soon. It uses it for, I think, buffs like everywhere. So it's just a good add-on. I like it more than the stock one that Blizzard has. I don't have any settings changed. You just download it, and it's how mine is. Omnibar. I do believe I have an Omnibar export, so you can copy my exact settings in the Discord or down below. So if you want to just import mine, you just import it, copy and paste it right there. Easy clap. I actually go pretty bare bones with what I like to track on Omnibar. The reason being is I don't want to track like 400 abilities and being confused about, does this warrior have a kick? It's like, well, is it on this list or not? I pretty much only track kicks and a couple other abilities like Death Coil, grounding, but mainly kicks. I do track Shadow Step and Cloak from a rogue and prep because you can I think you can prep kick, Evasion Sprint, Vanish, Cold Blood, Shadow Step. Okay, maybe you can't prep kick in Wrath, but you can do things like prep Shadow Step, kick, and I need to know if prep is off for something like that. Priest, just like Shadow or Death is actually really important to track. Like I said, you can copy all my settings with just one click of a button. Hand of Freedom because it breaks stuns. Under Death Knights, I think I actually do track String, Icebound, Fortitude, Mind Freeze, and Death Grip. Things that really change how I need to play the game. In terms of bigger defensive cooldowns, so Pally, Bubble, I actually don't track. I do it mentally. Okay, Pally bubbled recently. He doesn't have Bubble. I'm just aware and I think about it. I don't actually track it. Same way in retail. I don't track big defensive cooldowns. I just use my brain and think about it. It makes me play more actively and think a lot. That's not the only way to do it. What you can also do is create a second Omnibar for, you can track kicks in one side of your screen and big debuffs on the other side, however you want to do it. This is just how I do it. That's the Omnibar setup. Next, I have Mask, and then I have my own little skin for Mask that makes it look like dominoes. You can just download dominoes. The reason I am doing it the way I'm doing is I'm using Bartender for my bars, Mask to make it look like dominoes. One, I'm a big dominoes fan. I like how it looks. I like how it's skinned. You might ask yourself, why don't you just use dominoes? Well, there's a few things with Bartender that I actually like better with Classic. And this is where I was talking about earlier. Might get a bit confusing. No one's really going to notice except me because I'm really weird in particular. One of the big things is when I'm CC'd, there's a cooldown count on retail when I'm CC'd. So if say I'm in a sap on retail, my abilities aren't going to look like they're on cooldown. They're going to be covered by like a red bar, and it's going to show a cooldown. This is called loss of CC alerts, cooldown alerts, lots of CC cooldown alerts, something like that. In Wrath, this was a feature that was not implemented yet. Darn, right? Darn. Oh well. So with dominoes, you can't get it to work. With Bartender, you actually can get it to work, but I had to mod it. Now, if you, like, most people probably don't need to ever change this, but if you were looking for a way, you go to lib, you go to interface add-ons Bartender libs lib action button, and then you open it up, and then you scroll down to scroll. Okay. Loss of control. Okay, line 1700. That would have been easier. Line 1702. You comment out this part. This part in the Lua disables loss of control effects. I want them enabled, so I commented it out, or you can delete it, and then you just save it, and then you open the game and you have them in. All right, let's continue on to the rest of the video. 99% of you probably don't care about that, but for the 1% that do, I just saved your life. Okay, there we go. It took me so long to figure that out. You guys have no idea. Next, Leatrix maps. I don't do anything. I just downloaded it stock, and it's basically a much better looking map, Leatrix maps, than the default one. It's also pretty cool if you're undiscovered in an area like this. It'll still show you what it looks like. It's just kind of the fog of war is covering it. So that's pretty cool. Anyway. Great map add-on. Next, Glady, we already covered. E-Align, you don't need it unless you're super particular like me and you want to line up everything absolutely perfectly. It's a nice little grid slash align. This is actually a retail add-on that I just use for Wrath, and it works. They didn't upload a Wrath version, but the retail one works fine. Diminish, I only use Diminish. The way I have it set up is I only actually use it in Arena. It's disabled because I use the DR tracker from Glady. Target DRs are enabled, but only in the world, in scenarios and BGs, not in arenas. In arenas, I find it way too redundant because I'm using Glady or S Arena, right? Now, in world PvP or duels, I do want to track my DRs, so I actually enable my target DRs in the world, and so I can see DRs in duels. I have arena disabled, nameplates disabled, party disabled. I do have my player enabled all the time. This, I only track stuns, opener stuns, and normal stuns. I just find it really critical to know whether or not I'm on stun DR. Because if I'm on stun DR, then I could be a potential swap target. If I'm off stun DR, if I'm off stun DR, I could be a potential swap target. If I'm on stun DR, I'm safe in a way, right? Kidney shot, I'm on kidney shot DR for like 15 seconds. I'm like, they can't kidney me, so I can go and play the game. So I like to track my own DRs for stuns. Now, when it comes to like cyclones and polys and fears, like I don't track all of those. I more do it mentally of like, was I feared recently? Okay, I don't find it like I need to know exactly when it's off, like with stuns. That's how I have it set up with Diminish. Details. A lot of people ask, how do you get your details to go grayed out like that? I have stock details. I didn't change many settings at all. The only thing I changed is when you open details, you click on the cogwheel, go to automation, mouse interaction, click enabled, on hover over, I have it set to 0.92, no interaction, 0.29, whatever. It'll make it like kind of nice like that. So it kind of goes away when you don't want it to be there. Other than that, just default details. Big debuffs. Man, it's still like one of my favorite add-ons, like favorite of all time. Actually, at the end of this video, we'll rate my top 5 add-ons. This is definitely one of them. I have it set up pretty particular. Raid frames, I just have a default, I believe. Unit frames, and this is like the frame here on people's nameplates, right there. I only track CC immunities, spell immunities, interrupts, and other buffs. Okay, I don't track all the defensives. You don't have to do it. You can like stock big debuffs is actually really good. So just download big debuffs, keep it stock. It's actually fine. I'm just used to it to where I see CCs and immunities. On nameplates, I show offensive buffs, roots, and crowd control. Okay. That's just how I'm used to it. Don't have to do it that way. And I have it like kind of upset to the left, offset to the left, up to the left, because that's how it looks on retail. So I'm using this as my nameplate add-on and my normal big debuffs kind of awareness add-on as well. Very, very, very highly rated add-on. I love this. Bartender, we already talked about it. It's how I get my bars the way they look. A lot of people ask for an export. Bartender doesn't have an export option, unfortunately. I wish they did. I wish I could export it for you guys. But if you just download it, go to presets, and go to like 2 bars wide or 3 bars stacked, it should be pretty similar to mine. I mean, yeah. And then I'm using masks to make it look like dominoes because I think the dominoes buttons look so pretty. And then Auctionator, right? Auctionator, you can use TSM if you want. Auctionator is fine. The auction house in Classic sucks. They should definitely update it to how it looks in retail, but it is what it is. So we have Auctionator. That's the video, guys. Those are my add-ons. If I'm gonna rate top 5 add-ons, top 5 big debuffs, Glady or S Arena, Omnibar, Omni CD, and maybe tell me when our weak aura is. Boom. Top 5. If you only want to download a couple, get those. Get those for sure. And then Omni CC, I mean, it's so pretty, so get that for sure as well. And then Czar Mods for the posture checks, of course. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Those are all my add-ons listed out for you guys with all the configurations and setup to make my Wrath of Lich King look exactly like it does on the screen. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a big thumbs up. We do have that merch available. Link is down below. And don't forget to subscribe. Peace.